I'm so excited to finally show you guys my map. So let's have a look at how I've actually set my map up. When we're looking at my map here, we have a larger overall area which encompasses half of the city that I live in. However, we don't try to service the entire city. That would make zero sense. Instead, we focus our minutes and our dollars and how far we can get mileage out of them. We have selected 2 regions within our city that we are currently working on. So how that would look is this whole map represents a city. Within the different cities, you have your regions, and within your regions, you can even have zones. This may be a way for you to take on a bigger area like I am. So when we look at my zones, we're currently working over here. The first pass anytime is always a blue highlighter. I like the color blue. After we do the blue highlighter, that signifies that we actually have been to that house and primed them with material. That means they haven't been door knocked yet, but they have gotten all their pre-material. At that point, the team is now going to go out in pairs and start to door knock those areas. Once the team has knocked on the homes, the street turns from blue to pink. The pink symbolizes that they have now been door knocked. You can see here that this region is mostly blue, and that is because this one has been primed. However, you can see that they've begun knocking. So above, it actually has a date for the day they went, and you can see which areas are starting to turn over and where the black boxes are starting to appear. The map has been custom made by a local designer, and it's actually hundreds of photos put together. So this symbolizes hundreds of different photos on each wall, which have all been stitched together and creating my map. It was really important to me, and it should be to you, to get the house numbers underneath of the houses on the street. This is not a requirement. You can still knock a street if you can see the homes, but if you have their street addresses right there, it's going to make it a lot easier for your follow-up game. A lot of people ask about the diamonds, and the diamonds are representations of the solds. So you're probably wondering why there's no red. You only see green. We chose to go with green as our sold color because we resonated more with it. We thought it felt more like success in winning the level as it represented getting the paycheck. We personally don't like the color red, and for that reason, we didn't include it on our board. Something great about the map is that you can see clusters and patterns very easily. You can see where you're winning and which areas turn over the quickest. You can see in which areas you're getting the most results, where you're getting the most phone numbers or the most contact information. If you have clusters on your map, you may want to focus more of your time in that area, knowing that it has the best return for you. I get a lot of questions about my map and its size, and people ask if this is what they must start with when they start their door knocking game, and the simple answer is no. My first map was a simple 8x10 piece of paper that we literally would draw on. Our first map was printed off of the iCloud map system. From there, we began to level up, and as we leveled up, we learned that city maps were the best to use. The map is not just for checking in before heading out. The map is for coming back and seeing what you did conquer. Before we head out, we look at our map, we look at where we're going, and we pack our boxes accordingly to how much material we need for where we're going that day. Everybody should know how much they need and where they're going ahead of time. But the game's not over once we're done knocking. Once we come back to the office, the first thing we do is track. We want to see our results right in front of us. What worked? What didn't? Did we conquer new ground that day, or how much did we conquer? I'm currently training a new agent, and I took her out door knocking. So this area, we only went for 32 minutes, and in those 32 minutes, we were able to hit 38 doors. 2 of those doors were CMAs. That means that her conversion rate is quite high. You can do the math there. So this is really how the map is so handy. How do you think that agent felt that day when she got to come home and mark it on the map as having 2 wins out of 38 homes? That created momentum of winning energy. So you can see here within the larger area, when I'm training agents, I zone off areas for them, which means I take a region and I cut it down into zones for them. This is for several purposes. Number 1, so it is an area that can be accomplished. Number 2, for preparation. You want to be prepared when you go out. You don't want to just grab a box and go. What if you're on a great roll and you run out of material? By having zones and preparing properly, you are able to pack your box properly. easily. You're always going to be set up for your day, but never carrying more than you need to. On your map, it's helpful to include things such as the street address and also the plot sizes. If you can get the land size on your map for each individual lot, that's really going to help you out to spot your patterns and your clusters. As you can see here, I've got clusters in certain areas, and that's because these areas have the most turnover. Also, you'll be able to see clusters of homes that sit on green belts, that may be on the riverfront. You can see which lots are double lots or even triple lots. You may even be able to see on your map different places that are getting rezoned. If you choose a map from your city that has upcoming projects on it, you may be able to identify even where is being rezoned. My two top recommendations when it comes to creating your map is find something that you can reuse, whether it be a whiteboard or whether it be laminated. Secondly, I highly recommend you use city maps to create your map. The reason for this is city maps will be able to show you the largest amount of information about those individual lots. Overall, you're looking for the streets, but it's really great if you can get all the information about each individual house on your map. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed looking at my map. From here, I want you to take your next action step. You're going to download the worksheet attached and you're going to begin creating your own map. It is time for you to start tracking your door knocking.